Parents, when did a teacher's tough love cross the line? I was 13 when my PE teacher, Mr. Boyd, decided my insulin pump was too distracting during dodgeball class. "It's a gym, not a hospital," he said, pointing at the small device clipped to my shorts. "That thing's gotta go." I tried explaining that it was literally keeping me alive, that without it, my blood sugar would crash and I could die. But Mr. Boyd just rolled his eyes and told me to stop being dramatic. "Leave it in your locker or sit out," he said. "Your choice." So I did what any scared 13-year-old would do. I left my insulin pump in my locker and joined the game, hoping nothing bad would happen. 20 minutes into running laps, I started feeling dizzy. My vision got blurry and my hands were shaking. I knew what was happening but kept pushing myself because I didn't want to seem weak. Then I hit the ground, hard. When I came to, Mr. Boyd was standing over me looking annoyed instead of concerned. He actually thought I was faking it to get out of running. "Nice try, kid," he said. "You can sleep it off in the nurse's office." He didn't call 911, didn't check my pulse, just had 2 students drag me to the nurse like I was some piece of equipment. The nurse took one look at me and freaked out. She immediately gave me a glucagon shot and called my parents while checking my blood sugar. It was dangerously low. My parents rushed to school and absolutely lost it on the principal. They demanded answers about why a teacher would force a diabetic kid to remove life-saving medical equipment. The principal apologized repeatedly, promised it would never happen again, and said they'd have a talk with Mr. Boyd. But nothing actually happened to him. No suspension, no formal reprimand, nothing. So he kept doing it, not just to me, but to any kid with a medical condition. Asthma inhalers had to be checked in at the beginning of class. EpiPens were too risky for kids to carry unsupervised. Even students on crutches had to walk laps at their own pace instead of sitting out. One girl named Emma broke her ankle when Mr. Boyd forced her to use the stairs instead of the elevator because crutches don't excuse laziness. Another kid with severe asthma ended up in the emergency room after Mr. Boyd wouldn't let him use his inhaler during a fitness test. Parents started complaining, but the school kept brushing it off. Mr. Boyd had tenure and coached the winning football team, so he was basically untouchable. That's when my mom started a petition. She gathered stories from every parent whose kid had been affected by Mr. Boyd's policies. She documented every incident, every hospital visit, every time he'd put a child's life at risk for the sake of his twisted version of tough love. The petition got over 200 signatures in just 1 week. Local news picked up the story. Suddenly, the school board couldn't ignore it anymore. Mr. Boyd was placed on administrative leave while they investigated. Turns out he'd been pulling this stuff for years, but the school had been covering it up to avoid lawsuits. 3 weeks later, he was quietly transferred to some administrative position where he couldn't hurt any more kids. He never taught PE again.